Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. Rowpaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news. It's Mondays with Mallory with KTIK 95.3 FM The Ticket's John Mallory. Listen to Idaho Sports Talk with Prater in the Ballgame. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 95.3 FM The Ticket and online at KTIK.com. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, here's Johnny Ballgame and BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing? Happy Wednesday, Boise State fans. Welcome to Bronco Nation News Live here at bronconationnews.com. We got John Mallory filling in for the next couple of days. We had no show on Monday while I was still in Las Vegas, so we're working around the schedule this week. We'll have Johnny Ballgame today and tomorrow, and then Jay Tuss will be back on Friday. Hope you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. We're making our push, Johnny, towards 3,000 YouTube subscribers. We'd like to get there by Mountain West Media Days in a little over a month. So just subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/Bronco Nation News if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter. And if you're watching on YouTube already, just click that subscribe button there at the bottom of the screen. Tell your friends, subscribe on YouTube. It's free. It's easy. It just takes one little click there at the bottom of the screen. But as I said, Johnny Ballgame is here. You can hear him 3 to 6 weekdays, 95.3 FM, 1350 AM, the KTIK app, all that good stuff. Johnny, you combed your hair, you took a shower, you got a nice shirt on this morning. We appreciate it, man. How's it going?
Good, man. It's going well. It's a Wednesday. We got a good show planned. Of course, Prater's still on vacation. He'll be back on Monday. Bob has done a good job filling in as he always does. He's such a pro. So fun week on Idaho Sports Talk. Quick little plug, 5 o'clock tonight. Brett Rippon, former Boise State quarterback, current Los Angeles Ram. And, you know, Bob's got the Rolodex, man. We've been trying to book Rip for months. Bob makes one text and gets it done. So we're excited about that. But I'm also excited to be here with you today. And let's do it again tomorrow, too.
So Mike Prater, the night after or the morning after the Las Vegas Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup, just happens to be off this week. What planning there? Is he somewhere in the mountains, like not even knowing if they won, or was he watching the game last night?
No clue. It's kind of funny. He went on this big rafting trip in the South Fork, and it's this huge excursion for a week. You're in the middle of nowhere. They have to drop you off in an airplane to start the trip. So Prater was saying he won't be able to turn his phone on until Friday. He has no idea what the series is, if the Golden Knights won or if it's still going. So that's going to be such a wonderful surprise for him when he gets back in civilization, turns his phone on. He said the first thing he's going to do is check and see what's going on with the Stanley Cup, and he's going to be celebrating. That's going to be a good time for Prater. And what a scene that was in Vegas. Who said Vegas couldn't be a sports town? They're going to be partying a long time for that. I watched it. I'm sure you did too. As a big hockey fan you are. That was a lot of fun. Two celebrations back to back for the Nuggets and the Golden Knights. So,
well, I know you noticed it because you sent me a text. I know you noticed it, but a little connection with BNN there on the the patch of the Las Vegas Golden Knights, Circa Sports right there. And I was actually talking with Derek Stevens, the owner of Circa Resort and Casino, during the previous game. Was it the game 4, I guess, the game that was in Florida? They had a watch party out at Stadium Swim, and Derek was there wearing his Vegas Golden Knights jersey. And I was up talking to him, and he said that he really wanted them to win it at home because they only have the patch for the home games. So there's another sponsor for the road games, I guess. So Circa sponsors the home games, and he said it would be great for us if they can be lifting that Stanley Cup with the Circa Sports patch on. Sure enough, it happened, and that was an extra little bonus for them. And Johnny, it was fun being down there in Las Vegas. I mentioned it to Jay yesterday, but we're starting the series this week on the 25 most important players of the football team, which is going to end right about when Media Days starts. So it's kind of in Las Vegas at Circa, where the Mountain West Media Days are going to be, and then we kind of kick off the series this week. I thought it all kind of made sense the way it works out, but we're barely a month. We're June 14th today. The Media Days, I think, are July 19th, something like that. So we're only about 5 weeks away, Johnny, from your first trip to Circa Resort and Casino, and I know you're excited for that.
Oh, dude, and I mean, you've done a lot of good things, certainly creating Bronco Nation News. One of the best things you've done is somehow, some way, develop this relationship with the coolest, one of the best casinos in Las Vegas. And when it comes to sports, BJ, you've became best friends with the best casino in Vegas when it comes to the sports scene. You're like that nerdy dude in high school who somehow, some way dates the homecoming queen. And everyone's like, wow, how'd he get that done? BJ, I'm really impressed, and I can't wait to get down to Circa, that sportsbook scene with the pool and the screens. BJ, well done.
I wish we could get a lie detector test on JP about how nervous he is to send you down to Vegas for a couple of days. But I know you're going to be all business, and we're excited for that. And so we're kind of unofficially kicking that off. We announced last Friday on Prater in the Ball Game that you guys will be coming down there, 95.3 The Ticket. You'll be doing live shows for a couple of days. We're going to set you up in a cabana out by the pool one day. We'll have all the Media Days stuff going on. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And with that announcement, last week, and me being in Las Vegas, and like I said, kind of kicking off our series here, Jay and I, we had a couple guys that we talked about yesterday, Garrett Curran along the offensive line, also James Ferguson Reynolds, the punter. I know the first 4 or 5, Johnny, in this series aren't exactly the sexiest guys to talk about, but we got 2 more we're going to knock off the list today, and we're looking at the 25 most important players. And again, not the best. This is most important. So some of it has to do with how stacked the wide receiver position is. There may not be a wide receiver as high as you might think because there's 4 or 5 of them. Same with running backs. Where we're going to find out where those running backs all go, because are they both, which one's more important, and are they both as important to the team, given the fact that if one goes down, you still have the other one. So we'll see as the list moves on. But a couple of guys I wanted to talk about today. We'll start it off at the backup quarterback spot because I think this is an interesting battle. We've got Maddox Madsen at number 23 on our list, Johnny. Him and CJ Tiller in the spring battling for the backup quarterback spot. By all indications, at least what we saw in the game, I believe we both think Maddox Madsen has won the backup quarterback spot, or at least as QB2 going in to fall camp. What's your take on Maddox Madsen? And obviously, Taylon Green is certainly the probably going to, no surprise, he's going to be number 1 on this list, the most important player on the entire team. But that backup quarterback, I never know when they're going to play a role, if there's an injury or whatever happens. And so we've got number 23 on our list, Maddox Madsen. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you can't put yourself in a position as a coaching staff to where if you lose QB1, the whole ship is going to sink. And the whole season is over, and all of a sudden you turn into a lower level Mountain West team, right? And Maddox Madsen, from what I've heard from coaches who I've talked to about it and just listened to what the coaches have said about Mad Dog, no one calls him Maddox. Have you noticed? No one calls him Madsen. Even the coaches, everybody in the building, he's Mad Dog. And he's developed that personality. He kind of is that quintessential backup quarterback. He's friends with everybody on the team. It feels like he has a big, glowing, big-time personality. He's loud. He's boisterous, and kind of comes with the type of person he is from what I've heard. We've never interviewed Mad Dog, have we?
I don't think so, no.
I don't think we've ever got to interview him. Hopefully this fall camp starts, we'll get to talk to him a little bit because we have heard a lot about his personality. But, the thing that I take away the most from Maddox Madsen, and I think we were talking about this, if it was in the press box, I think it might have been a home game, but they sat Taylon Green at the end of the game and they put Maddox Madsen in instead of Sam Vidlak. And we all thought at the time, like, oh, Vidlak's the number 2. He's always been the number 2. In the San Diego State game, Dirk Cutter actually gave him 2 or 3 series. We're like, was there a quarterback battle here during the San Diego State game? What's going on? And then later on in the season, when they went to QB2, it was Maddox Madsen. It wasn't Sam Vidlak. In the offseason, Maddox Madsen didn't transfer. Sam Vidlak did. Maybe that would have been reversed had Vidlak thought he could have been QB2. Who knows? But Maddox Madsen looks like this is his role. I don't expect a true freshman in CJ Tiller to win QB2. If he does, it's probably a good sign that they hit on the Tiller kid. But no, I think this is Mad Dog's gig. I like what I've heard. Dirk Cutter spoke really well of him, and I trust Dirk Cutter's opinion on quarterbacks as much as anybody I know and anybody I talk to. And Dirk doesn't BS. If Dirk says he likes the kid and he does this or that, usually the kid's got some ability. Dirk's coached some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, MVP winners, number 1 draft picks, that type of thing. He's a fan of Mad Dog, and hopefully we don't have to see him play unless Boise State's engineering some massive blowout and Mad Dog can come in and mop it up a little bit and clean things up and get Boise State out with a healthy victory. But if they do need to go to Maddox Madsen, and I know Taylon Green runs a lot. I know he's a big kid, but when you run, you risk it. So if he has to come in and play, hopefully he's good enough to be in a position where, especially when they're in the Mountain West season schedule, BJ, where Maddox Madsen, like, think about this. Say Taylon Green was not on this team and Maddox Madsen's your starting quarterback. I still think Boise State's probably predicted to be first, second, or third in the league. I think if they can get Mad Dog playing, if you have to, as long as it's in the Mountain West schedule, I mean, Mad Dog can beat New Mexico. Mad Dog can beat at Colorado State. So I'm pretty confident in what he can do.
What do you think? Let us know on the ICCU YouTube chat your thoughts on Maddox Madsen, the battle with CJ Tiller. Are you cool with Maddox Madsen as QB2? And as Johnny says, if he had to come in for a game or two, how do you feel about Maddox Madsen running the offense? We'll continue the talk on Maddox Madsen in just a second. But first, we are broadcasting here from the Cutwater Spirits mobile studios. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. I highly recommend all 3 on the screen there, but in particular, the Mai Tai. Ropaint.com, I highly recommend them as well. ROEpaint.com, they got the 1-day concrete coating install. It's 5 times stronger than epoxy. In 24 hours, you can transform the look of your garage, your back patio, your basement, any old concrete slab you have. They'll come out for free to your house, talk you through the process, and give you a price quote. Check them out, ROEpaint.com. Lithia Ford of Boise. Do what the Raines family did. Go purchase a vehicle from Lithia Ford of Boise, and you'll not be disappointed. LithiaFordBoise.com. You can view their full inventory of vehicles. They got some great deals going on right now as the weather is starting to warm up, so make sure you check them out, LithiaFordBoise.com. And Idaho Central Credit Union, they're bringing you episode 2 in less than a week, Tuesday night, a week from last night, will be to episode 2 of the Tyson Degenhart Show. The guest this week will be Jeremiah Dickey. That'll be fun. Jeremiah Dickey and Tyson Degenhart chatting together. ICCU.com for more information. Check them out, Idaho Central Credit Union. And if you're looking for a job, how about Transportation Compliance Service? Transcomservice.com. They can help you every step of the way with the permits, overweight permits, DOT permits, all that stuff you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. Transcomservice.com. Check them out. The trucking industry is booming right now with the coming off the pandemic, and I highly recommend you giving them a look. Transcomservice.com. Okay, Johnny, so Maddox Madsen, you look at the stature there, man, 5'10", 211. So he's a little bit shorter, but a little bit thicker, obviously, at 5'10", 211, coming over from American Fork, Utah. Did play in one game last year, as you said, or at least had his debut against Nevada, was 3 of 4 for 43 yards in that snowy game at Nevada. Did have a 35-yard pass as well. 3-star recruit. You remember when they got him, he was, had some hype, but also was a little under-recruited, didn't have a ton of good offers at the time that they got him. But put up some big numbers in high school and just seemed like that typical, chip on his shoulder guy that maybe was a little under recruited that Boise State felt like they found something with. In 2 years with Maddox Madsen, you sounds like you are. You're fine if Taylor Green is the star of this team, but is Maddox Madsen, I guess, the long-term number 2, or is he kind of holding place for a CJ Tiller? Is Maddox Madsen ever going to be the starting quarterback on this team, or what do you see as the long?
So.
Okay,
I don't think so. I think Maddox Madsen's a great, nice scholarship backup fit, and if Mad Dog going into say his 5th year, I don't believe he has a COVID year. So if he goes into his 5th year coming off his red shirt and he wants to enter the portal and maybe go do the Big Sky thing or another level or maybe a lower level Mountain West program so he can start, then good for him. But I don't think he's long-term plans. And I could be wrong. I hate to say this, but you hate the 5'10". You do. And maybe he's bigger than you think, because when he's next to Taylon Green, he looks 5'6", and everybody in the quarterback room does, because Taylon Green and Prince Strawn just tower over everybody else on this team when you're at practice. I hope he's a long-term serviceable backup, but it'll be really interesting. Let's just say, I know Boise State doesn't want this. Say Taylon Green wins Mountain West Player of the Year. The Broncos win 10 or 11 games. Taylon Green probably tests the waters of the NFL. He's draft eligible next year. And if that's the case, maybe if Boise State doesn't go into the portal to try to find a quick fix, maybe it's a battle between CJ Tiller and Maddox Madsen, and those two can fight it out to see who's going to be the starter in 2024. I don't expect that to happen. I think Taylon Green's going to stay for a couple more years, BJ. I do, but that could be a situation that is in play. Other than that, no, I just think right now Maddox Madsen's your QB2, and maybe at the end of the year, BJ, because last year we all knew Sam Vidlac was QB2 until he wasn't, right? Until at the end of the year, the coach just said, well, Maddox has moved up on the depth chart. And Andy doesn't tell us, oh, by the way, I just want you to know, Maddox Madsen's now QB2, Sam Vidlac's QB3. They don't have to tell you, and they don't. So, no, I think Maddox Madsen, QB2 right now. But at the end of the year, maybe CJ Tiller can begin to push him as he begins to get more reps and a better feel for college football.
Maddox Madsen checking in at number 23 on our list of the most important players for the Boise State football team in 2023, and this will conclude right around the time of Mountain West Media Days. So we're going to get you set the next month, and we're checking off 2 a day here the first couple of days as we continue to count on our list, Johnny. And then as we get to some of the more prominent players, we can spend a little more time talking about them, and they can have their own show, so to speak, moving forward here. But the second player who checks in at number 22 on our list is a young player that may surprise some people when you think about it, but Matt Lauder. He's a tight end from San Diego, Torrey Pines High School, 6'4", right. 245. He kind of burst onto the scene last year, and if our friend Riley Smith had not decided to use his COVID year and come back, Matt Lauder would have been TE1, I guess, if you want to say it like that. Matt Lauder really came on the scene last year, had a start against Utah State at the end of the season, had 4 catches, I believe, for like 40 yards or something like that. He was the only other tight end I believe, than Riley Smith that had a reception last season. So he's a redshirt sophomore, a young kid, again, came in last year and showed some things. 3-star recruit. Top 50 tight end in the country at ESPN. They got they got some really high hopes for Matt Lauder. Just saw the glimpse of it last year, Johnny, but with a couple of tight ends moving on, don't forget, Kurt Rafdal is now gone. He used up his eligibility. Tyneil Hopper transferred to Michigan State. So for an offense that, has used multiple tight ends in the past, Riley Smith obviously is going to show up a little higher on our list here in the next, couple of weeks, but I got Matt Lauder at number 22. Your thoughts?
I like this play, BJ. I like what you're doing with Matt Lauder because I see exactly what you're seeing on this. Riley Smith is more of the modern tight end. Think Travis Kelce, whereas Matt Lauder is more of the traditional tight end. 6'4", 245, big kid. I think he's going to be able to help Boise State in the running game, maybe more so than Riley Smith. And I want to start a series called Unsolved Mysteries, Boise State. And one of those episodes is going to be whatever happened to the tight end position at Boise State. We say this every year. Hell, John Bates is carving out an NFL career, and he wasn't even used in this offense? That's an unsolved mystery too. Why the hell didn't they throw the ball to John Bates a little more? I'm not going to put any number on what statistics Matt Lauder can have. All I know is he's going to see a lot of snaps on offense. This team, BJ, is going to pound the rock. They have exceptional running ability, quarterback, the two backs. They're going to need Matt Lauder as a big-time blocker, in my opinion. I think we're going to see number 85 all over the place. And here's the biggest thing that stood out to me with him physically. A lot of these kids show up, and they're still kids. They still have baby faces, and it makes us feel old in the media room, man, looking at some of these kids like, dude, how he looks like a kid. He's just a baby face. Like he doesn't have no facial hair, nothing. And that's what Matt Lauder looked to me like his first year. And then last year, he looked like a man. Like he grew, he matured physically. Not a shot at this guy, but not everybody's Hank Bachmeier. They don't show up as a 20-year-old true freshman, right? Like Hank Bachmeier did, held back in school for whatever, homeschooled or whatever it was, not held back, but homeschooled. So he graduated high school when he was almost 20 years old. He was ready physically. He was mature when he showed up. Hank was. Matt Lauder wasn't. He was 17, 18-year-old kid, still had that baby face. That's not the case anymore. You see Matt Lauder now walking in the building. He's one of the biggest, toughest-looking dudes on the squad.
We'll talk about Matt Lauder a little more in the tight end position in general in just a second, but do want to thank some more sponsors. The blueandorangestore.com. Free shipping, any order over $40. If you're looking for some new Boise State gear, check them out, theblueandorangestore.com. And, of course, they're go in person if you're in the Boise area, the second floor right there next to Pyramid of the Boise Town Square Mall. You looking for a new dentist? How about Dr. Miner and his staff? They make it an enjoyable experience to go to the dentist at Boise Dentistry Co. Check them out, 5 locations across the Treasure Valley. Get more information at BoiseDentistryCo.com. You need business insurance? We're up in our business insurance as we add to the team here at Bronco Nation News. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com has been easy to work with. I highly recommend them. It's all done via email and quick, and they give you the policy quotes and everything, and it's just such an easy experience. I'm happy that we teamed up with them. 229-8222. Check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. They can write business policy insurance in 44 different states around the country. Ridley's Family Markets. Johnny likes the Acuna location down there at Ridley's. ShopRidleys.com. They got locations all across the area, and again, 13 in the state of Idaho, the Northwest, some of the neighboring states. Download the new Ridley's app and get savings up to 40% at ShopRidleys.com. Our friend Bauscher Real Estate once again refreshed Instagram this morning, Johnny, and saw another home sold by Matt Bauscher. The number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and his team. Check them out. BauscherRealEstate.com. No home is too big or too small.
Shorts, BJ. Look at those baggy shorts, Bausch. 07, 08. Those were in style, man. I love it.
They need to bring back some retro uniforms, man. I kind of like that look a little bit. But
yeah, they should.
Get more information at BauscherRealEstate.com. And last but certainly not least, Johnny, I don't know if you can tell in the camera today, but continue to trim up, man. LeanFeast.com/Meridian is helping me out. Fully customizable, delicious, filling meals at Lean Feast. Check them out right there on U-Stick and Eagle Road in Meridian. You can go in there and you can get 1 meal and just put it in the microwave and have it for lunch, or you can get 10 meals and have your cooking done for the week. It's very affordable, the same as going out to get, a fast food or a sub sandwich somewhere. And again, it's delicious, fully healthy, good. They can tend to any diet. And I'm doing the keto right now, and it's perfect with the cauliflower rice and the veggies, and 2 minutes in the microwave, and I'm having, surf and turf for lunch there. So highly recommend it. If you're not in the area, they can deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley. So you can go online, customize your order, and within 2 hours, have the delivery at your doorstep. LeanFeast.com in Meridian. Highly recommend our friends at Lean Feast. Okay, Johnny, Matt Lauder, I mentioned I misspoke a little bit. He's the only tight end other than Riley Smith returning that has a catch last season. You did have Tyneil Hopper, had a few catches last year, and then Kurt Rafdal as well. I think it was 13 catches for Hopper. Rafdal had 1 catch last year. So, but Matt Lauder, 4 catches, 40 yards, did have a 29-yard catch. There's a couple of comments on the YouTube chat here, the ICCU YouTube chat. Dennis says great size. Perry says we need a dominant tight end to push the offense to the next level. What do you make? Chris V says between Lauder and Austin Terry, the future of the tight end room is very bright. Hopefully Bush will use them more than Plow did. You mentioned your, mystery of the tight end position. What is your early take as the offense of Bush Hamden is going to, how it's going to include the tight ends?
Yeah, hopefully Riley Smith can carve out some type of role, but man, there's only so many attempts. There's only so many balls to go around, right? You hit on it earlier about the log jam at the receiver position. Like, how many passes do they think Taylon Green can complete per game? This isn't going to be some run and gun Mike Leach offense where the quarterback's throwing the ball 70 times a game, right? It's probably going to be half of that, if not that, not even half of that. So I don't know, but I would like to see Riley Smith have a 40-plus catch season, 5-6 teeters, 400-500 yards, something like that. Have a nice quality second team all-league, honorable mention all-league season. I think Riley is poised for that. I think he's ready for that. But then again, there's a lot of balls that need to go around to feed the mouths of these receivers and whatnot. And like I said, I think this is a running team. I think you're going to play to your strength, and good luck stopping those two backs and Taylon Green on foot. The two longest runs of the season last year, 74 and 91 were from TG10. And I expect to see a couple more of those. I do. I expect to see Taylon Green have a couple of runs over 50 yards this year. That's just what that dude brings to the table. So to sit here and say, hey, we need this and that and this, all these box checked from the tight end position, I don't know. If it's there, great. If not, I don't think it's going to hurt this team. I don't think we're going to say, dang it, Boise State could have been better if they only used the tight end more. I don't think that's going to be a case.
Well, again, Matt Lauder checks in at number 22. We had Maddox Madsen at number 23 as well on our top 25 list of important players. Johnny, we're going to knock off two more guys on tomorrow's list as we wrap the show up here, the final 3 minutes or so. You mentioned Brett Rippon coming on the show today, 5 o'clock, Idaho Sports Talk. Make sure you're listening to that. We saw the news last week. Alexander Madison taking over as running back one in Minnesota. Avery Williams going down with the injury. There's been a lot of Boise State NFL players in the news of late. Today I think is the last day, or tomorrow. A lot of the NFL teams are wrapping up OTAs, this week, and then taking some time off for the summer. What's your current take, or any thoughts you have, I guess, on the NFL Boise State Broncos?
It's funny because you see a lot of the Broncos in the league right now, and they were playing in that era that never resulted in a New Year's Six bowl bid, right? And I'm sure the fan base looks back on it and it's like, dang, man, you had Brett Rippon at quarterback who's carving out an NFL career. Alexander Madison is an RB1. Ezra Cleveland and John Malshon, two linemen, both in the league. John Bates was a little bit in that team on that era at tight end. LVE, it was a first-round pick. He's still in the league. And you look at that little era there, the Brett Rippon era, I'll call it, 15 to 18, and you didn't have an opportunity to get to a New Year's Six bowl, but
Khalil Shakir
was there. Yeah, Shaq, John Hightower. Can I throw him in the mix? Can I throw a Cedric Wilson? Anybody out there? Like, we just named off the top of our head.
J.L. Skinner, Scott Matlock.
8-9 dudes. They're more this era, though. I'm talking who played with, they can say they played with Brett Rippon.
Okay.
And I think, Bates did for 1 year. Skinner got there in 19, I think. But anywho, I look back and I say, gosh, there was a lot more NFL kids in the building in that era than there are right now. And I know Bronco Nation wants to get back to that era where there's 5, 6, 7 NFL kids playing on the team at the same time. So I kind of look back at Rip in that era, and I think it kind of slips through the cracks. And I think Brett Rippon, unfortunately, only because he didn't get to a New Year's Six bowl game, kind of slips through the cracks in the Boise State quarterback conversation. I love Grant Hedrick. He's one of my dudes, but Grant Hedrick gets mentioned a lot more, at least in my circles with Boise State quarterback talk, than Brett Rippon does. And Brett Rippon was a 4-year starter. Grant Hedrick played a year and a half. But, and this is a big, Sir Mix-a-Lot, baby got back-sized butt. If you win a Fiesta Bowl in this town, you live forever. Grant Hedrick, you're the man too.
So is this the 4th or 5th year now for Brett Rippon in the NFL? I think this will be 4, maybe 5.
19, 20, 21, 22.
How many more does he need? How many more years to pass Kellen for NFL career?
He already has.
Okay, I thought he was 4 or 5.
Brett Rippon is the all-time Boise State leader, I believe, in attempts, in wins, in touchdown passes. Statistically speaking,
in the NFL level.
Brett Rippon has had the best NFL career for any Boise State quarterback. You can throw Ryan Finley on there too, but he only had a cup of coffee there, played a little bit. But yeah, Brett Rippon is the most successful NFL quarterback to have played at Boise State. Kind of funny.
Well, you said 5 o'clock today, correct?
Yeah, 5 o'clock. Beeler's in for Prater this week. Again, Prater's in the wilderness, doing whatever he's doing, having a blast, I'm sure. But Bob's filling in well, and JP and myself, we're still having a lot of fun every day.
That'll be 95.3 FM, 1350 AM, the KTIK app, which I highly recommend in your phone store, KTIK.com. You can download the podcast on iTunes as well and have the episodes directly uploaded. Make sure you listen 3 to 6 today. Brett Rippon will be their guest at 5 o'clock. Don't forget, again, we're trying to get to 3,000 YouTube subscribers by Mountain West Media Day. Subscribe on YouTube. Tell your friends. If you're watching on YouTube right now, just click the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. It only takes a couple of seconds. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, we ask you switch real quick to youtube.com/Bronco Nation News and hit subscribe. And while you're at it, don't forget about our app. The Bronco Nation News app is available in the App Store or Google Play as well. Johnny, appreciate your time. We'll do it again tomorrow, 9 a.m. We'll knock we got an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman tomorrow. So maybe not, once again, not the sexiest guys to talk about, but we're starting to inch forward with the importance of the guys here. And so we'll have a lot of good conversation moving forward. So 9 a.m. tomorrow. Johnny will be in for Prater again, and then I'll join you guys, I guess, Friday on Idaho Sports Talk as well. So looking forward to that, but looking forward to listening to Brett Rippon at 5 o'clock today. Have a great day, everybody. Listen today to their show, and then we'll talk to you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.